Hi, I'm Alan, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you about walking boots. I know a lot of people seem to suffer from blisters with their walking boots, and I thought I'd just talk through what I do with mine. I've walked for thousands of miles and I just don't get blisters. A long time ago, when I did used to get blisters, I was talking to a lady in a shop and she advised me to wear 2 pairs of socks and get boots that suit fitting that. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But the boots I've been wearing for about the last 2,500 miles of walking, they're Salomon Quest Prime, and they weigh about 600 grams each boot, and they're Gore-Tex boots, and I mean, for me they're a very good fit. Now, the important thing in wearing a boot, I find, is making sure you can waggle your toes, plenty of room at the front, good width so it's not squeezing your foot, but at the same time not so loose that you slip around inside. The heel is where people seem to get most of their blisters, and you want a reasonably cupped shape on the heel so that it holds the heel in place without it slipping up and down, but not gripping it so aggressively that it rubs on the top of the heel, which will give you blisters there. These are Gore-Tex boots. They're very waterproof. Having said that, they do let water in if you walk all day in wet grass in the rain, I've found. And these particular pair, I've walked between 1,200 and 1,500 miles in them, and there's the wear on the sole. So that's what they look like when they're newish. These ones I've only walked about 250 miles in, and they're the third pair I've had. The second pair started to delaminate a little bit on the toe here, and they just replaced them. That's what that third pair is. But I'd worn those for 600 and odd miles, and they were still going strong apart from that. These ones, after about 1,000 miles, started to split, I suppose. You can see it here and down here. The leather had come away from the rubber there. The material had split there, the leather's split there. And what I've done is I've actually used some glue on it, which has helped. It's lasted a little while, kept them going a bit longer. It started to come away again there, you can see if I squeeze it. The glue I used is this Evo Serious glue. And it sticks quite well, and it's still fairly flexible after a while. But it only lasts a few weeks, and then I put some more on. If anybody knows of a better glue that's transparent like that, then do let me know. But you can see there is a bit of wear on them, but you'd expect that after about 1,200 odd miles or more. These feel comfortable from the minute I put them on. It's the Salomon Quest Prime. They've got this really good grippy sole, contour grip, and they've got a good lacing system, although the laces they supply them with are a bit slippy. You might want to replace those if you buy these. One downside I found with the waterproofing is that because of the shape of it, if you're walking through a lot of water and bogginess and mud, it accumulates on here. After a while it lets the water in, can't keep it out forever. So I changed my style of boot, and I did actually buy some Inov-8 Roclite G400 Pro. And they have a very smooth top to them where the water can run off, and they've got a new finish. It's just a river here. Good test for my boots. Roclite 400s. They were very nice, very comfortable boots, and I wore them for about 20 miles. And one of them started to squeak badly, so I sent them back, and they immediately refunded them. But they didn't have any in stock, and they haven't had any in stock for a few months now. So that was the end of that for the time being. So I tried these. These are Salomon, and these are the Cross Hikes. And again, they've got a waterproof top, and they're quite tough. Very good grip sole, terrific grip sole that is. and they're again Gore-Tex, waterproof. And the difference between these, say, and the Quest Prime is that these are 600 grams a boot and these are 400 grams a boot for me. 405 grams I think that is for a size 9.5 UK that fits me. So they're very good boots. I'm quite pleased with them so far, and they've not let any water in yet. They've got this quick lacing system which the jury's out on at the moment, but it seems to work alright for me. It hasn't come loose yet, and the thin laces haven't broken on me yet. I've worn them for about 50 miles so far, and they seem pretty good. One of the problems people do report with these is that they start to delaminate on the side here. I don't know if you can see that. It is starting to go. Apparently it doesn't affect the performance of the boot in any way, but it's a bit disconcerting, and it would be better if it didn't do that. As I say, this style, this modern style, is probably better from the point of view that the mud and the water will run off rather than just accumulate on the top and soak in through the top. Very nice boot all in all. I know some people these days are going for the running shoes for hiking in, running type shoes, the low ankle ones. I always like a bit of ankle support because I do lots of multi-day trails, and it can be on fairly rough terrain with rock. I don't like the idea of banging my ankles, and I like ankle support. My ankles get tired if I walk all day without some ankle support. These provide these cross hikes just enough. It's a smaller amount of ankle support than I get from these Quest Primes, and these ones in fact I find can be a little bit high. When I first buy them, I find they catch me on the lower part of the calf here and make the muscle feel a bit bruised after a couple of days of walking, but I just loosen off the laces at the top and splay it out, and after a while the boot slackens. So they're very comfortable boots, very comfortable from the off. I'm not affiliated in any way with Salomon, and whatever boot fits me I would wear that was comfortable, and I suggest you find the one that suits you. These ones just happen to be about the right shape for my foot, and I'm very pleased with what I've had. In terms of the socks, I said I'd talk about socks. I wear two pairs, and on the inside I wear a liner sock, a thin liner sock, and these are actually from Alpkit, and they're liner socks made of bamboo, a bamboo mix, so they're fairly stretchy, fit well. I use half a size down from what I need because they fit better. And then I wear a medium trekking sock over the top. These ones happen to be Bridgedales, but I've got icebreakers as well that I use. Sometimes they're merino ones. These are a merino mix, these Bridgedales, and I do have other ones as well. I think they're just old Carrymores that I had, and they work well. So just a medium hiking sock. Important things about the socks are the bamboo and merino are both antibacterial, and they're both good wicking materials. So that one I change generally every day or every other day. That one I change every few days, but neither of them tend to smell, and because they're wicking, your feet don't get wet, don't stay wet. It takes it away from your foot. So I found that these are great even when you're walking in hot weather. I've walked in up to 38 degrees with them, really hot, but still they manage to maintain a reasonably dry foot and fairly comfortable. And the socks, because there's two layers, they take the rubbing. So these boots have been with me on the Two Moors Way, Glyndwr's Way, the Beacons Way, the Wainwright Coast to Coast, and many other shorter walks that I've done. So they've had a good life, a hard life, and they're still going. I still wear them for my daily walks when it's not pouring rain and I'm not going to get soaking wet feet. The ones that these replace, this newer pair, I'd actually walked the GR10, the Pyrenees, Cross Pyrenees Way, and that was 600 and odd miles, and they lasted very well. They did let water in after certain days when I had like 3 days of continuous rain and walking through grass and stuff, wet grass. I've had quite a few different pairs of boots over the years. I used to have Scarpas, leather boots. They were a lot heavier, and I did get blisters on the heels with those because they didn't grip my heel very well, so they slipped. And I also found that the soles were just too hard. After 2 days of solid walking, my foot would feel bruised at heel and ball of the foot. I've got nothing against Scarpas, they may be perfect for other people and a different model may suit me, but I just didn't find one that I liked as much as the boots that I have now. And I've had various other boots before that you just have to try and find the one that's good for you. One other thing I like on the Salomons is they have ortholite insoles, and they have just the right amount of padding. They're not too soft, not too hard, so you don't feel all squidging around and you don't feel as though you're getting bruised. A couple of things to look out for in the boots. I like a boot that rolls well, and when I say rolls well, I like it to feel comfortable when the heel goes down and roll straight onto the foot, onto the toes. I just want to walk when I've got these boots on because they do that. The heel landing should be comfortable, so that you don't feel a jolt. If you've got a shaped heel like this, it will tend to roll quite nicely. If you've got a fairly flexible boot, this is flexible enough, it'll feel comfortable and again it'll roll nicely. Some boots are very clunky on the heels, they can be very square there, they can be hard, you don't feel the ground very well. These have got a stiff enough sole as well as a comfortable enough last in them to bend, and yeah, they just feel comfortable at the end of the day. A couple of things I'm not so keen on with these boots, and you want to look out for perhaps in other boots. They have these very long laces. I have to do about 3 knots, 4 knots sometimes, to take up the loops. The other thing about the laces is that they're a kind of slippery material, so I need those knots to stop them coming apart. Another thing I'm not so keen on with these is they have the lugs on the side here. If you do happen to have a loop hanging out over the side, not tucked in well enough, you can find you trip over your own feet because it hooks around here. Not the cleverest of designs in my view. One thing that is very good, and quite a few boots have this feature now, is it's got a cleat type lug on it, so it locks the lace, and that works quite well I find. It makes it easier for doing them up and getting the tension right. So I hope that's been useful to you. Hope you got something out of it. The key tip, of course, is 2 pairs of socks. Let the socks do your rubbing, not your feet. That's the way to avoid blisters. Hope it's been useful. Bye bye.